Welcome back to the channel. One of the questions that I get frequently asked is, what will a Dyno Tune give me on a stock car? These days we're mostly talking about late models like Coyote Mustangs, but I still get asked that question about Foxbodies, even though there aren't a whole lot of bone stock Foxbodies kicking around. Anyway, since this car was completely stock, I decided to do just a Dyno Tune, and we'll see what we get with just the Dyno Tune and no other changes to the car. Well, we spent a little bit of time on the dyno with the car. My original plan here was to dyno it with just the physical tune-up parts on it, cap, rotor, wires, plugs, and so on, and see what we got for that, and then do the 10-minute tune-up, and then do a custom dyno tune with the car. But basically we got nothing for the physical parts tune-up. I'm not sure why. The cap looked terrible. It had two completely wrong plugs in it, and those two plugs were loose. So I don't know why we didn't get a significant gain just from those parts, but we didn't. Probably the reason is that for whatever reason, the car was running way too rich. When I did the initial runs, I could see that my tailpipe sample for wideband oxygen sensor was not reliable. My guess is that the reason for that is that the mufflers are burnt out, and so it was getting a contaminated signal. And when I was driving the car, it looked too lean. When I stepped on it, it looked way too rich. So when you can't believe that signal, you've got to do something about it. I welded an exhaust bung into the driver's side of the exhaust system. Today I have my wideband oxygen sensor plumbed directly into the exhaust ahead of any rust out damage on the mufflers and so on. And when I drive the car, looks right on, everything looks like it should. When I stepped on it, it still looked way too rich. So that's a problem with performance. The car's set way too rich for whatever reason. So instead of going to the 10-minute tune-up, I went straight to some tuning modifications with the software. So I've modified the calibration in the car, made it leaner, added some timing that way. I've got a fairly significant performance gain from just the Dyno Tune. What we're looking at here is a comparison between the car with a traditional parts-only tune-up and a stock PCM calibration, and the car with just a Dyno Tune. These tests were both performed with 87 octane fuel. You can see that the power and torque are up across the board, with power gains at the peak of about 4.9% and torque gains at the peak of about 4.6%. A significant reason for these gains is the program change in wide open throttle mixture from an average of about 11.4 to 1 to an average of about 13.2 to 1. Is a Dyno Tune on a stock Foxbody worthwhile? Well, these are real gains. And by way of comparison, the power improvement from the Dyno Tune alone was about 47% better than the power improvement from the 10-minute tune-up alone. While it's usually best to save the Dyno Tune for after you've made some real parts upgrades on the car, in a lot of cases, the dyno tuning process is one of the most cost-effective power improvements you can do. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on future videos.